A vibrant young woman vanishes without a trace. A husband's alibi seems airtight until a neighbor's security camera captures a chilling detail. What unfolds is a tale of betrayal, hidden rage, and a bloody secret lurking beneath the surface of a seemingly perfect marriage. This is the story of Kira Steger. Hey, true crime fans. I'm Aman, and I'm thrilled to share crime tales across times with you. Each episode will explore a new case, examining the evidence and discussing the twists and turns. My goal is to create a community where we can discuss these cases, share our thoughts, and learn from each other. So, let's get started. On the evening of February 21st, 2013, 30-year-old Kira Steger clocked out of her retail job at the Mall of America, exchanging cheerful goodbyes with coworkers who noted her usual upbeat demeanor. The vivacious blonde had plans to meet her husband, Jeffrey Trevino, for dinner that night. An ordinary Thursday that would tragically become the last time anyone outside her home would see her alive. When Kira failed to arrive for her Friday morning shift on February 22nd, concerned coworkers initially assumed she might be running late. But as hours passed with no call or text, completely uncharacteristic for the reliable employee, their worry grew. By Saturday the 23rd, when Kira again didn't show up or respond to messages, her colleagues alerted store management and began calling her family. Jeffrey, a 39-year-old auto body shop worker, filed a missing persons report that weekend. He told investigators Kira had stormed out after a heated argument about their struggling marriage, suggesting she might have needed space. Police noted his red-rimmed eyes and trembling hands as he spoke, yet something about his story felt off. Detectives would later learn that while Jeffrey claimed Kira left with just her purse, her passport, medications, and other essentials remained at home, details that didn't align with someone planning to be away for an extended period. The initial police report described Kira as 5 feet 5 inches, 125 pounds, with blonde hair and blue eyes, last seen wearing a black coat and boots. As days passed without any sightings or activity on her phone or bank accounts, what began as a routine missing persons case took on an increasingly ominous tone. Friends revealed to investigators that Kira had recently confided about marital troubles and her desire for separation, painting a more complex picture of the couple's relationship than Jeffrey had initially presented. As investigators delved deeper into Kira Steger's disappearance, they began piecing together a troubling picture that contradicted the image of a happy marriage. Friends and coworkers consistently described Kira as a warm, outgoing woman who lit up every room she entered, the kind of person who would never simply vanish without telling someone. This glaring inconsistency led detectives to dig further into her personal life, where they uncovered a painful truth. Kira had been involved in an extramarital relationship with a man named Ryan. Initially, this discovery shifted suspicion toward Ryan. However, investigators quickly verified his alibi. He had been out of state during the critical time frame surrounding Kira's disappearance. This development forced police to re-examine their initial assumptions about the case. Their attention turned back to Jeffrey when a routine neighborhood canvass yielded crucial evidence. A neighbor's home security system, equipped with a rotating camera, had captured footage of Jeffrey's white Chevrolet Malibu making unusual late-night movements between February 21st and February 22nd, the exact window when Kira vanished. The investigation took its most dramatic turn on February 25th, when Kira's silver 2003 Volkswagen Jetta was discovered abandoned in the Mall of America parking lot, just a short distance from where she had last been seen alive. A thorough search of the vehicle revealed divorce documents hidden inside, dated just weeks before her disappearance. These papers contained Kira's handwritten notes about her deteriorating marriage and her intention to leave Jeffrey, providing investigators with their first concrete evidence that the Trevino household had been anything but peaceful in the days leading up to Kira's disappearance. The discovery fundamentally changed the trajectory of the investigation, shifting focus squarely onto Jeffrey's potential involvement in his wife's vanishing. The investigation took a decisive turn when detectives obtained GPS records from local taxi companies. These records revealed that on February 22, 2013, the day after Kira was last seen alive, a cab had picked up a passenger near the Trevino residence and transported them to the Mall of America parking lot, where Kira's abandoned vehicle was later found. This critical timeline matched exactly with when security cameras showed Kira's car being parked at the mall by a hooded figure who then departed in a taxi. Armed with this evidence, authorities executed a search warrant at the Trevino home on March 1, 2013. Forensic specialists sprayed luminol, a chemical that reacts with traces of blood invisible to the naked eye. The results were chilling. The master bedroom, bathroom, and hallway fluoresced with the telltale blue glow indicating blood residue. Despite Jeffrey's attempts to clean the crime scene, forensic analysis confirmed the blood matched Kira's DNA. The pattern and volume suggested a violent, sustained attack. Investigators reconstructed the horrifying final hours. After Kira informed Jeffrey of her intention to divorce him, he had flown into a rage, beating her to death in their home at 1026 East County Road E in St. Paul. In a calculated attempt to conceal his crime, Jeffrey had wrapped Kira's body in a blue plastic tarp, loaded it into his Chevrolet Malibu, and driven to the Mississippi River near the High Bridge in St. Paul, where he dumped her remains into the frigid waters on the night of February 21st. For 3 agonizing months, Kira's family waited while search teams combed the river. Finally, on May 8, 2013, a boater spotted human remains near the Boom Island area of the Mississippi. Dental records confirmed the heartbreaking truth. The body was Kira Steger. The Ramsey County medical examiner determined the cause of death as blunt force trauma to the head, with evidence of strangulation. The once vibrant young woman had suffered unimaginable violence at the hands of the man who had vowed to love and protect her. Jeffrey Trevino was arrested on March 1, 2013, and charged with second-degree murder in the death of his wife, Kira Steger. The case went to trial in Ramsey County District Court in January 2014, where prosecutors presented a compelling narrative of domestic violence and control. They meticulously laid out evidence showing how Jeffrey's escalating possessiveness had turned deadly when Kira asserted her independence by seeking a divorce. During the 3-week trial, jurors heard devastating testimony about the couple's troubled marriage. Friends recounted Jeffrey's jealous behavior, including controlling Kira's social media accounts and monitoring her movements. Forensic experts explained how blood spatter patterns in the master bedroom indicated a brutal, sustained attack. The taxi driver who unknowingly helped Jeffrey establish his alibi identified him in court as the man he'd picked up near the crime scene. The defense argued that there was no direct evidence proving Jeffrey killed Kira, suggesting she might have met with foul play from someone else. However, after just 7 hours of deliberation, the jury returned a guilty verdict on February 13, 2014. On April 11, 2014, Judge Margaret Marinan sentenced Jeffrey to 306 months, 25.5 years, in prison, the maximum allowed under Minnesota sentencing guidelines for second-degree murder without intent. With credit for time served, His earliest possible release date was set for August 2037, when he would be 63 years old. In a powerful victim impact statement, Kira's mother described how her daughter's murder had devastated their family. "You took away my firstborn, my best friend," she told Jeffrey in court. "You had no right to play God." The sentence brought some measure of justice, though it could never undo the tragedy of Kira's stolen life. The devastating loss of Kira Steger left an indelible mark on all who knew her. Friends and family described the 30-year-old as a radiant presence, someone whose laughter could light up a room and whose kindness touched everyone she met. In the wake of her murder, loved ones established memorials at both the Mall of America, where she had worked, and along the Mississippi River, where her body was finally recovered. Each year on February 21st, the anniversary of her disappearance, those closest to Kira gather to honor her memory, ensuring that her vibrant spirit is never forgotten. Kira's case also became a grim reminder of the dangers of domestic violence, prompting advocacy groups in Minnesota to push for stronger protections for victims. Her story was cited in legislative discussions about improving law enforcement responses to domestic disputes, particularly in cases where controlling behavior escalates into violence. The Minnesota Coalition for Battered Women reported a surge in calls to domestic violence hotlines following media coverage of Kira's murder, as her tragedy encouraged other women in abusive relationships to seek help before it was too late. While Jeffrey Trevino claimed the killing occurred in a moment of rage, prosecutors argued that his actions afterward, meticulously cleaning the crime scene, disposing of Kira's body, and staging her car, suggested a calculated attempt to cover up the crime. Do you believe there was premeditation, or was this a spontaneous act of violence fueled by jealousy and anger? The rotating camera from a nearby residence provided investigators with crucial evidence, capturing Jeffrey's white Chevrolet Malibu making suspicious trips late at night. Without this footage, authorities might have struggled to establish a timeline connecting him to Kira's disappearance. How significant do you think this piece of evidence was in securing the conviction? In hindsight, friends noted Jeffrey's controlling tendencies, monitoring Kira's phone, isolating her from loved ones, and growing increasingly possessive. Yet at the time, many dismissed these as typical marital conflicts. What red flags might have signaled that the relationship was turning dangerous? Could earlier intervention have saved Kira's life? These questions invite reflection not just on the specifics of the case, but on broader societal issues surrounding domestic violence, investigative techniques, and how we recognize warning signs before tragedy strikes. Kira Steger's story is a heartbreaking reminder of how quickly love can turn to violence when control replaces trust. While justice was served in the courtroom, her death left a void that can never be filled. Her legacy, however, lives on in the conversations her case sparked about domestic abuse, and in the hope that by sharing her story, others might recognize the signs before it's too late. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more shocking true crime stories from around the world. Until next time, stay safe and stay vigilant. This is Crime Tales Across Times, signing off. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more shocking true crime stories from around the world. Until next time, stay safe and stay vigilant. This is Crime Tales Across Times, signing off.